Hi, Mr. Paris here. I wanted to share another toilet paper tube book with you. I got an inspiration. I thought, let me make pages out of toilet paper tubes like I usually do, but this time I will cut the toilet paper tube with a pair of pinking shears. To make the edge of the paper this kind of like sawtooth. So I spray it with water. Let me move this out of the way. And you see it starts to relax. And so what I do to flatten it, I'll put it between pieces of paper and I'll set a heavy book on it and I'll leave it there so the paper absorbs the water out of the toilet paper tube and it gets very flat very quickly. So this is the book I made. Now I made the cover out of a food box. I just cut it to size. I covered the cover in marbled paper that I had gotten from a download from Nick the Booksmith, and then I put vinyl on the outside, just straight cut, flat, and put some eyelets in and twine to bind it. I made a little card here for the back and glued 1800s newspaper to it, and then place this little picture of the Harley brothers and their motorcycles on it. I've left it up at the corners, in the middle, so I can put tickets underneath to give it some personality. And it says on the book plate here, it says "Wild at Heart," which can come out and be changed. So let's go inside. As I said, I made the pages out of toilet paper tubes. I used different sized toilet paper tubes so that they were different lengths, different widths. And as you know, those of you who've worked with toilet paper tubes, they are not square at all. And I just went with it because I kind of enjoyed that about it. So each toilet paper tube I covered front and back with this 1800s paper, newspaper, from I think the financial section. I mean, it was literally falling apart in my hands while I was gluing it on. And then once I got it glued to the toilet paper tube, front and back, I gessoed it and then inked it up because I still like the aged look of the newspaper, and of course put some stenciling spots on it and whatever. So this is my book. I have some little cards throughout. Here's one I made with some of the leftover paper. I didn't want to put it here because then you can't see it, so I flipped it over so you can see it. This is part of an envelope that I have placed a little book in. You know what? I'll show you that last. Let's look at that after we look at the pages here. Adventure awaits. See the world. I wanted you to be able to write on the pages but still see the newspaper through it, so you can actually read it if you want to. So this is a corner of an envelope, and this is a little bicycle type apparatus there. Somebody's riding down the street. On some of the pages I added some photos. This is cars, and this is trains, and this is balloons, obviously, but I tied it from the top so it was a flip up. You can continue writing on it. Tied one to the other side, so there's another place to write. You can still write on the surface there. It says "Be brave." And there was a woman on this one, so I put this kind of steampunk image here that you can write on the back. I liked tying at the top. I liked the strings hanging off. And I like this picture of this car. All these people in here. Thought that was fun, so I taped it in place. Excuse me. And there's another flip up. This has a little key on it. It's just a scrap I had from some other project. And in the back. And thought I'd put a little set of labels here to go with the book for people to label a few things. Or the new owner to label things. This is an envelope, obviously. Little dollar sign there, and a little Monopoly money. Like you're going to go see the world. So let's go back to the front. Look at the little booklet. Come on, baby. I had another card. Well, let me back up and say I made this out of the packaging paper. That craft packaging paper. It's a little envelope. I had a little card I wanted to use here, and I thought, well, I don't know exactly which page to use it on, so I decided to make a little booklet out of it. So I used cardstock for the back, and the pages are 8.5 by 11 sheet folded to make a little sign, and so it makes 4 pages that are each double-sided, to which I made pockets. And I decided to use the typewriter keys, but I was wondering, well, which typewriter keys? Do I spell a word across the top? What do I do? And I decided to use the keys people don't normally use. And so there is a little card in each pocket. This is tissue paper, and then some graph paper, and the little key glued on. I didn't cut it very well, but you know, hey, it is what it is. So 3/4 little machinery, and Hatter barrier advertisement, and this one is a desk cabinet. Anyway, I thought it was fun. Have the little typewriter keys there, and in the pocket in the front I have a little torn picture of a guy. This is actually from a magazine. I had this inside of an envelope, forgot it was there, and I ripped his hat off, and I'm like, ah, shoot. Now what do I do? So I glued it back to a piece of paper and just inked it up, made it look like a damaged photo, which it was. Why won't you go in there? There we go. So that's that, and of course more of that marbled paper, that little booklet. So that's my latest toilet paper tube book. I hope you enjoyed it.